Hello again. So, some people have commented on my last video saying that they still got questions about this module. They want to see a little more, basically. So, I thought it might be good to perhaps go over a couple more examples, maybe illustrate a few things that we didn't get to illustrate really well. So, consider this like a supplement, a practice your own type thing for this module, if you will. So we'll go over maybe not all 11 examples of these, but we'll try to go over ones that have the potential to be a little more interesting, shall say. Okay, so keep that in mind. We're going to go through the basic stuff pretty quickly because it seemed like most of the difficulty was in positioning. And you'll notice that I have changed my image that you can see. I now have original shape all decolored for right now, so it'll be easier to tell which one I'm coloring. I've also just basically copied a hexagon. I think it'll make sense why I've done this once we get into one or two of these. So let's look at some more examples of this. So I'm going to leave this each side on the screen for just a second, so if you want to kind of work at your own pace, see how many of these you can solve. This will give you a chance to do so. Let's grab the clock side. Oops. There we go. Let these rotate once or twice. And let's begin. The ones with black and white, the ones with black really, are the traditionally more difficult or easy ones in my opinion. So we'll probably start with those. But let's take a look. Let's see what we got. I'll actually start with this one here. I'll probably go through all of these actually. So black, green, red, down, down, up. I'm going to kind of jump through this first stage pretty quickly. Second one is the same orientation, so we need to swap it. So green becomes magenta, down becomes up. So let's look at what we've got for this one. Magenta up. Well, magenta can't go up. Magenta has to go down. So we have to pick whatever's across from magenta. So the magenta is going to go here. Red up. That works. This one actually is going to turn out to be pretty simple. So we place them. We don't have overlap. We don't have opposite. But we do have black. Should black be in the center? We'll take note. Black is the only one that's down there, so it should be in the center. So we're going to swap the color pieces, place black in between. This green-red becomes red-green. This stays, this is going to take yellow, the color in between. So it's yellow, red, green positions. That one was a little straightforward, perhaps. That's okay. Let's look at this one. This one might be a little more interesting. I haven't done any of these ahead of time or looked at them, so it might not be the most interesting examples. This one, however, looks like it'll be a little better. Red, white, blue, up, up, down. Again, the second one has the same orientation as the first, so we need to flip the color. White becomes black, and the direction, up becomes down. Fill in what we can. I'm going to fill purple. Red up, red can be up. Blue down, blue can't be down, so we have to pick what's across instead. So red goes in the red spot, blue goes in the opposite spot, that's the yellow spot. And now the black. Again, no overlap, no opposites, so we're going to look at rule 4. Black does if black should not be in the center. Black shouldn't be in the center. If you'll notice, it is not the matching color. The red one actually needs to be in the center. So black should not be in the center. So the instructions say, for the black one, we're going to place it adjacent to another triangle, but outside the hex. So we need a down arrow outside the hex, but adjacent. So if we look at all these options, these are the two adjacent ones that we need a down arrow. So we need this one. So our black is here over in the 12 o'clock position, as I call, or the 10 o'clock position, as I called it before. I'm going to color that one black. I'm actually going to color them all the original colors, I think. And blue. Now, that's not in the hexagon. So we have to do a little bit more work to figure out where to put this. And this is kind of what I was seeing in the questions, is what do I do when it's outside the hexagon? Well, if we look at the shape of those three, it kind of forms a trapezoid with a long base along the top edge and the short base along the bottom edge. Kind of flat and short. So we need to pick three shapes in the hexagon that have the same pattern. In this case, and I'll just do this down here at the bottom, these three, notice, have that same general shape. Long top, short bottom for the trapezoid. So it's just taking this kind of general shape and mapping it somewhere on here. But everything needs to keep its relative position. So red stays red, blue goes here, black goes here. In this case, we need to hit red, black, blue, red, black, blue, like so. That's kind of what it means when it says like shift something into the hexagon. Basically do this step. We should see another one of those, hopefully. This one has some potential. Black, red, white, down, up, up. Not the best example, but that's fine. The second one does not match the orientation, so we don't have to do any flips. We'll place what we can, that'd be the red one, in the up position. Oop. Ooh, now we get the interesting stuff. No overlap, no opposites. That's black only, that's white only. We have both. So, should black be in the center? Well, in this case, yeah. Black should be in the center because of the these shape. Now, these tend to get a little trickier. Since black needs to be in the center, we're going to keep in mind that when we kind of do our rotation, the centerpiece is kind of your pivot point, that's where you're rotating around. So, black should be in the center because it's different orientation. I'm going to place the black piece outside the hexagon. It needs to be in a down direction. There. But then, the white piece needs to be a clockwise rotation. Now, this is kind of a little awkward to see because of how this is placed and how it's positioned right now. So, what I'm actually going to do, let's disregard the letters on it, but notice how I have black and red kind of positioned. I have a red up and then a black down next to it. So really, for the sake of keeping it in some sort of shape that has predefined grids, we can move that. I'm actually going to kind of come down here though and see if we can solve this. No, let's do it up here. I'd think if I want to do it. We've got black and red. Black is down, red is up. So I'm actually going to color this black, this red. So it's the same sort of general shape we had before. And we had a black here, we had a red here. So this is really just a mirror. These two that I just colored that I'm uncoloring. I'm just mirroring them down here. The reason is now with my little black piece kind of in the center, I can see all the pieces it can touch. I've got little triangles set up for them all. And I think that'll make this step make more sense. We put the black piece outside the hexagon from our original position. Then we're going to place the white piece clockwise. So what that means is black's my center. The black here is my center. I've already got red over here. Now I need to place white clockwise. So that means using black as my center, go to my other one and go clockwise. Well, of these three pieces, which one is clockwise? Red. Well, if I go to red and go clockwise, I hit this one. So these three become my shape. Doesn't matter that it's down here versus up here, because we still got to get this general shape into the hexagon as a whole. So we have a trapezoid with a long bottom base, a short top base, which we can map there. Notice, again, we're getting the same shape. We're getting the same orientations, we're getting the same side lengths, we're getting the same order. Just a matter of kind of pushing it, shoving it around so that it fits within that hexagon shape. Black, red, white. This is actually going to give us... This is a solution, unless I have fouled something up. So that's kind of the trickiest example in my mind. But here's the thing. Anytime it says you need to do some clockwise or non-clockwise stuff, you can always kind of move things around so that you've got some positioning to work with. Let's keep going. Let me get some more of those. We'll go through this whole bottom real quick. What do we got here? Black, blue, green, down, down, up. Second one matches an orientation, so we've got to do a swap. Blue becomes yellow, down becomes up. Can't place the black. Yellow being up. Well, yellow's not up. Yellow's down, so we need to swap it. Green up. That works. No overlap, no opposites. You'll see certain rules tend not to apply quite as often. Black does. Should black be in the center? Well, again, yeah, black's the only down one, so it should be in the center. So we're going to swap the colored and put black between. So we're going to swap the green and the yellow. Put black between them. Need to hit it in black, yellow, green order. So, using the little hexagon here as my guide. Black, yellow, green. Magenta, black, white. Oh, this is an interesting one. Down, down, down. It's one of these rules, as mentioned in the main tutorial, doesn't trigger a lot. The second one here, this black, does match the orientation of the first, so we've got to swap it. Black becomes white, down becomes up. But I already have a white. I'm not allowed to have two, so I have to swap the other color as well. So that becomes black. So black has to fully swap, but I can't have double white, so the white has to change colors as well. Then we place. Magenta down, that works. I don't have a great magenta. Bear with me that that's magenta. So, black, white's in place, no overlap, no opposite. Both black and white appear. Should black be in the center? In this case, no, black should not be in the center. So, place the pieces so that the black is counterclockwise and outside the hexagon while white is still inside the hexagon. Let's see which one needs to be centered. That's going to be white. So white is going to be our center. So white has to either go here or here. I'm going to make that a magenta, a little more purple. Well, which one is it? Well, let's kind of see what our real goal here is. Remember, white is our pivot point. White is our center. So let's say white goes here. If white goes there, white's still in the hexagon. Black needs to be counterclockwise and outside the hexagon. Now, white is our center, because it's our only up. So, starting from the other color, if we go counterclockwise, where would black go? Which side that's a down arrow off of this white one would the black take? Well, if I'm going counterclockwise, it's going to take this one. That's not what I want. Black should not be in the center. this piece so that black is counterclockwise. So that doesn't work. Just double checking myself here. So what if we put white down here instead? Now, again, we're going to use white as our pivot point, as our center. We need to start from the other color and go counterclockwise. That's going to be here. That is outside the hexagon, so that's the orientation we want to take. It's a little weird. You got to kind of test out both options, but they're relatively easy to check. So, we had the magenta in place. We needed to place white inside the hexagon, which we did. Put it in the blue location. And then black needs to be counterclockwise. So that means if white is our center, looking at our color we're not really paying attention to, magenta in this case, is black counterclockwise from that? It is. Because if it was clockwise from that, it'd be over in the cyan position. Because we're really only because keep in mind, we're looking at the 3 spaces in comparison to the white one, the 3 that touch it. So that gives me these 3 as my shape. Now, this shape is not fully in the hexagon. Excuse me. The shape is not fully in the hexagon, so we need to push it so that it is. Again, keeping in mind this is a trapezoid. Kind of got the long base here on the bottom left, and a short base up here on the top right, which we get that same general shape using these 3 squares. Notice same general shape, same orientation, just putting it in the grid now. So let's push these, like so. That I think is probably going to be the best example, trickiest example, but let's go through the rest of these. I mean, let's make sure that this is clear. Yellow, magenta, blue, up, up, down. We have to swap this one so magenta becomes green and down. We're going to place what we can. Yellow, up. No, so it must go across. Green, down. No, green's up, so green has to swap to down. Blue, up. Blue down, sorry. Blue is not down, so it must go across. We have a contradiction. Perfect. This is actually not a case that we went over in the tutorial exactly. We placed them all. There's no overlap, but there are 2 triangles opposite. The blue and the yellow, based on the positions we put them, are opposite. So it wants us to assume that the hexagon kind of wraps around and attach them. I mean, I could copy and paste that shape kind of around it to really illustrate that point home, but basically you're going to sling the 2 opposite colors across. So this blue is going to sling up here, or this yellow, I should say, slings up here. This blue slings down here. Basically just imagine that we take this hexagon of 6, and I'm going to do this just real quick and then immediately undo it because it's going to look like crap. Basically we're saying, hey, let's take this shape and stick it up here, and stick it over here, and stick it over here, and stick it over here. So basically we're just kind of moving it around until we get something. This being the one that's interesting to us this time, as a side note. So really, we're just kind of slinging each triangle to the opposite unlettered spot. So this one went here, this yellow one went here. If I slang the green one, it would come up here, but I have no need to do that, obviously, because I'm only doing the opposite ones. So we've attached them, and we're looking for a finished shape. Well, we do have one. It's this down here. Again, it's not tilted right, so we've got to find that general shape in the main hex. It's the same one we just had for the last one. That long side on the bottom left, so it comes here. So yellow, green, blue. I mean, this is really what the module is. It's some practicing the positioning outside the grid's a little odd, but it's very doable. Let's finish up the bomb since we've started. This is supplement. You can practice them. Speed through this. I'm not making money off YouTube. I don't care if your view times are low. If you've got what you need. You placed them. Second one does not match orientation, so that's fine. So let's color. Yellow up. Nope. Green down. Nope. Blue. Oh my god, this is the exact same one. This is quite literally the exact same one. So again, we've got this shape. This exact same shape. Yellow, green, blue. Same thing we just did. Nice when things are familiar. What do we got here? Yellow, blue, red, up, down, up. No need for a switch. Yellow up, nope. Blue down, nope. We're gonna do it again. Red up, yes. So we need to sling one so that they touch. This time the yellow in the blue position is gonna sling up here. Oof. Give us this shape, which we can find in the main hexagon here, like so. Long side is on the kind of top left. Now I'm doing this obviously with paint. Once you've got this comfortable, you can probably do it exclusively in Notepad, on a piece of paper, however you choose to do it. When I do it, I actually do it on paper and just kind of denote the letters of where positions are going, and then I kind of keep my 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. But that's completely up to you. However makes you comfortable with it. Oh good, we got a black one, so this will be another interesting one. Blue down. No, blue is up, so we go across. Green up, that's fine. No overlap, no opposites. We do have black. Should black be in the center? No, black is a down. So black should not be in the center. Black should not be in the center. Place it adjacent to a triangle, but outside the triangle. So we need it to be a down arrow, touching one of the two we've already got, but it needs to be down oriented. So we have that, which if we look for that shape in the bottom, we've got it here. Black, or blue, green, black. Two more, then we're done. Red, white, magenta, down, up, up. Second one doesn't match, so place what we can. Red goes down, red's pointed up, so it has to go across. Magenta points up. No, magenta points down, has to go across. No overlap, no opposites, no black only, white only. Place it in the hexagon to form a trapezoid triamond. White needs to be facing up. That needs to go here. That's already the right, it's already in the hex, so I don't need to shift it down here. It's just the same positions. Red, white, magenta. And last one, seems like a surprisingly simple one to finish on, but that's what I get for not proofing these ahead of time. Magenta, cyan, green, down, up, up. Magenta, down, that's fine. Cyan, up. Cyan down doesn't work, so we need cyan up. Green up, that works. No overlap. I really wanted an overlap. That's okay. If two triangles are opposite, assume it wraps and attach them. In this case, that means this green's going to sling over here. Then we need to find this shape in my hex. I have it right here. And I need to hit magenta, cyan, green. if you didn't know I was a gamer, I'm gonna real quick boot this one more time, see if I can get some of the maybe 2-1, 2-2, some of the weird rules that didn't pop up. So let's do just one more quick run. Maybe we're done. Maybe we find one more that's interesting. I am gonna briefly glance at the output log to make sure what I find is not boring as crap and is beneficial to look at. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes when you're learning a module, this is a good thing to do. And I'll even show you kind of my behind the scenes stuff here. Here we go. Rule 2, sub rule 3 is going to come into play. This is one that is magenta, yellow, blue. So let's do the magenta, yellow, blue without, knowing what we should be looking for. Magenta, yellow, blue. This one? Magenta, yellow, oh that's cyan. That might be on the back. That one looks right. Magenta, yellow, blue. Okay, so it should be this one. Magenta, yellow, blue, down, up, up. Okay, so let's go through this one real quick. Second one, the orientation doesn't match, so that's fine. Let's place magenta down. That's fine. Yellow up. No, yellow's down, so yellow goes here. Blue up. Uh-oh. We've already got a color there. So, we do hit rule 2, where overlapping triangles. The color not responsible is the remaining color, since yellow and blue are both trying to grab this B space. We're going to look at the other color, magenta, as the remaining color. If it's not black or white, put the unplaced color so that it fits. Well, that's a little anticlimactic. The yellow needs to point up, so it needs to go either here, but that's a down arrow, or here, which is an up arrow. So, that one was not as exciting. Magenta, yellow, blue. Let's see if any more exciting ones in here. Rule 6-1, we've done Rule 6 a few times. 4-1. 5. 4-1. You can kind of see just no special rules. That's a boring one. 1-2-1. Okay, this one sounds interesting. Black, yellow, blue. Let me get something out of this one. This one? I think it's this one. Order doesn't match. Yeah, because we gotta do some inversions. Perfect. Alright, so this one is black, blue, yellow, down, down, up. Assuming I didn't know what I saw from the output log. Orientation matches, so we're going to have to do some swapping. Blue is going to change to the opposite color and opposite orientation, so that's yellow and up, but I already have a yellow, so I need to switch the yellow as well to its opposite color, to the blue. Black, yellow, blue, down, up, up. We place them. Yellow up is not going to fly. Blue up is hitting the same spot, so we have a collision, which is kind of what we saw in the output log, but that's fine. So we have overlap, so we're going to look at the remaining color, which in this case is black, which we have not had happen before. If the remaining color is black, it is. Keep in mind, we're leaving blue in because blue is the one that's supposed to go here. It's the blue space. If the remaining color is black, place it adjacent to the placed piece and outside the hexagon. So black goes on the outside. Needs to be down. Touching the piece that got placed, but on the outside. The unplaced triangle goes counterclockwise. Ooh. This is going to be fun, because we need to go counterclockwise, but keep in mind, black is our center. So counterclockwise is kind of going to go off this grid. So, just like before, I'm going to actually shift this so we can see the positions a little better. Also, I'm going to double check, make sure I'm not about to tell you wrong. Alright, so let's take this shape. This may not be the best place to put it, but it's where I'm going to put it. I'm gonna move it up here. I mean, it's the same general idea. We've got that shape, which we had determined was correct. So now let's look at this part again. We need to place the unplaced triangle that is an up yellow, so that it is counterclockwise. Black's our pivot point, black's our center. So the other color is kind of north of it, up of it. We want to counterclockwise from here. Counterclockwise to the next up arrow is here. So now we've got three. Kind of map our shape down here. Give me blue. Black, yellow, blue. This rule is an interesting one. It doesn't come up a lot. As you saw, we didn't get it hardly at all in the first set. We didn't get it at all in the third set. This one's a little boring because it's just a direct across, lots of white ones, no special rule at all. Okay, well that's what we got special on this one. That's kind of particularly interesting in my mind. So I think that's going to wrap us up. I would detonate the bomb, but I'm in Zen mode, and I don't think that's going to happen. So there's some more concrete examples of Triamonds. Hopefully that helps, gives you an idea, A, of kind of the shifting. B, it also gives you an idea, hopefully, of kind of what sort of things you can look for in an output log when you're trying to teach yourself a module. Because, not gonna lie, when from the tutorial, you may have noticed I was intentionally jumping to ones that hit rules in order. That's because I had looked through a couple seeds for an output log that had all of the different examples, which took a surprising amount of attempts to make sure I got one of each. But that's going to do it for this supplement. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm kind of curious if this is helpful. I'm going to, for now, leave this as an unvisible video. No, this is going to be a... what's the word I'm looking for? I have no clue. Unlisted video. But I'm going to link it from the tutorial, and I'm going to use it in the comment section of the first video. So hopefully that will be helpful to you. Since I can't edit the tutorial, I have to get rid of it and repost it. So I thought this would be a good sort of a compromise. Actually, I may list it and just leave it there. So, let me know thoughts on this. This may be something I do moving forward with some of the more challenging or elaborate, I guess you could say, modules, where I'll do this sort of supplement video just to go over some examples. So let me know your thoughts. If there's still questions, let me know. And that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you so much for your continued watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye now.